morning, everybody. Hello and welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mercury and welcome to my channel. It's my daily vlog, so whatever I happen to be up to today is what you're gonna see here. And today, I came out to explore Rutgers Gardens. So this botanical gardens is connected with the Rutgers University, and this is a place that I discovered during 2020 when I was looking for like safe outdoor activities to do, because I felt really cooped up and I needed to get out and I needed to like go someplace that I felt safe going in the middle of a pandemic. And let me show you why. This is why this is a great place to go, to just, you know, be able to get out and see some nature and, you know, be able to socially distance safely, but it's also just a great place to spend some time. So let me show you a little bit of this garden. So I'm right here where this thumbtack is, and this is the parking lot right here. So there's two places we can go. We're gonna start out by following the road around. We're gonna go to the gardens here, and then these are like, what do you call tree gardens again? Maybe an arboretum? But it's like evergreen trees are over here. So we're gonna go over here. And then before we leave, we're gonna circle back because over here is a bamboo forest. So we're gonna check that out too. Also here in New Jersey, there's a big issue with these spotted lanternflies. I don't know if this is going on around the rest of the country too, or other places of the world, but here, this is like a very invasive species, and they tell us to actually squish them. I mean, that sounds terrible, but they're apparently a really big ecological nuisance. So be on the hunt for the spotted lanternfly. Colors on this flower are so vibrant. This purple is gorgeous. I feel like you could come here and get lost in all of these colors and textures and smells. It's so magnificent. Oh my gosh, look. Hello, monarch butterfly. Hello. Even nature loves nature. There's one butterfly there. There's a pollinator and another butterfly right there. It's such a wonderful feeling being able to stand here and just having these butterflies floating all around me. I don't know of another place outside of going to like a butterfly enclosure, like, you know, at a zoo or a museum where this happens. And I wouldn't think, like, these aren't specifically butterfly bushes, but there's certainly flowers that are attracting the butterflies. They're loving it. And just being able to stand here and having them, you know, just flutter about, it's almost magical, like being in a little fairy forest. Look at this interesting plant. I don't know what this is that has a blossom or a pod like that, but this is really interesting. It's like a round pod with little like furs sticking off of it. It reminds me almost of like a lychee, the way a lychee grows. Whenever I see leaves this big, I always think of like Jurassic Park, and maybe it's like some Jurassic plant, like a paleobotanist would be like, oh, look at this. Like, I mean, obviously it's not. It's obviously a modern plant, but I mean, I feel like they don't grow this big anymore. Like, I feel like things got scaled down. So when I see like these oversized plants and leaves, it makes me think back to a time of long ago. Look at this. Hello, pollinator. There are a lot of pollinators here, so if you have an issue with being around bees, it might not be your favorite place to be because look at all the pollinators that I'm seeing. But if you don't bother them, they'll just collect their nectar and their pollen, because that's all they want to do. They just want to make the honey. They don't want to bother you. They just want to do their thing. So don't bother them. They don't bother you. So at the back of the flower garden, they have this vegetable garden. It's on display, so you can't actually walk through here. And the garden is tended by volunteers. So if we look over the fence here, you can see all the different vegetables that they have here. I can see some tomato plants in the distance over there. I'm not sure what these plants that are the closest to us are. Maybe there's a sign if we keep walking around. And then you can see all the way in the back, I'm going to zoom in, they have like some covered plants in the back too, which they do to regulate the temperature for the plants. And this is another angle of the vegetable garden. So I'm alongside the fence towards the back of the vegetable garden over here. And we could see more of those tented plants, but we could also see that they have these planting beds. So right now I'm walking on a little pathway that's just in between. The flower garden is on my right side and the vegetable garden is on my left side. And I'm walking through because I'm pretty sure if I walk this way, there's an herb garden and then there's another small garden to the left. So I'm gonna go take a look at those. So this area right here, although it looks quite unassuming, is actually an herb garden. And they have this sign like, don't pick the herbs. Just look at them, sniff them, enjoy them, but don't pick them. Don't pick the herbs. So there aren't any signs, but I'm thinking this is rosemary. To me, this looks like rosemary. And these stalks will grow up like fingers. And then I wonder if that's thyme, like a thyme plant over there, because I think that's what thyme looks like. I think this is mint. I'm gonna take a sniff and see if this is mint. Yeah, that's mint. That is definitely mint. It's funny, when I was a little kid, I had a small mint plant and we planted it in the soil outside of our house, and mint grows like a weed. It took off and it became this huge bush on the side of our house, and we always had mint, always. Over there, those look like they might be sage leaves. I'm not 100% sure, but to me they look like sage leaves. I also found over here there's a bird feeder, or a birdhouse rather. And based on the berries up top, I'd say this is probably utilized. And then I noticed there's another one just around the bend over there as well. And this is another one of the flower gardens. It looks like there's also some vegetables in here. So let's go take a look, because I could see some tomatoes growing from out here. Let's go inside and see what they have. Ooh, what is that? Look at that weird pod. That's interesting. Okay, so we're inside that little garden right now, and there's this huge marigold bush. Look at the size of this plant of marigolds. Look at this, there's like these berries or something. Could they be like eggplant? Baby eggplant? I don't know. There's no signs. I wish I knew what it was that was growing right here. That weird pod that I was looking at from the outside, there seems to be like a collection of the pods on the floor here. And then we have the tomatoes. Let's see, there's a tomato right there. And this looks like squash. I could see maybe a butternut squash. Let's go take a closer look. You see it under there? Look at this pepper plant. It is incredible looking. They look like little fire fingers. And they probably taste like little fire fingers. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I've never seen this type of pepper growing before. That is incredible to me. They're gorgeous. There's also this great open space, and a lot of times when I come here, I've seen people playing frisbee or families having a picnic. It's just a great open lawn space to come and just relax and have fun. It's one of those kind of places where it is what you make of it, right? It could be everything and nothing at the same time. They also have these incredibly fun, oversized chairs. How stinking fun is this? You know I can't resist. So now I'm back in the section full of evergreen plants. Oh, hello butterfly. So you'll see there's a lot of different hollies, and hollies are a type of evergreen. These are the type of berries that you typically think of around like Christmas time and that season. Look how pretty this is. And if you come all the way to the far back corner of the gardens, there is this forest and nature trail. Let's go for a walk and see where this goes. A lot of times on nature trails, they'll put like a dot of paint like this on the trees so you know which trail you're on. I'm not sure if in this case that's the purpose of this, but it might be. So it looks like a tree came down in a storm at some point. Looks like this might have happened a while ago because the soil and the roots have been smoothed out. So you could see, like, if this was fresh, there would be a lot more texture on this, but this looks like it's been like this for a while and has been a bit weathered. But look at the size of this tree that came down. As we're walking, there's another red dot, so I am thinking that this is to mark the trail that we're on. Love this canopy. It just really, it gives a lot of shade. It's really so much cooler back here, and just a really great place to walk through. Walking along, and I'm just like, what in the Blair Witch is going on out here? This is interesting. I don't know if this is meant as art or what, but Yeah, it just makes me go, what in the Blair Witch is that? There are actually a lot of ways to get in and out of that forest area. It runs along the whole back length of the gardens. So I actually just popped out of this area here, which is very different from where I came in. So all of the trails are really well defined, so I don't think you're gonna get lost back there if you just stay on the path. But I mean, it's forest, it's woods. So if you're not comfortable with that, or you don't feel like you have great direction sense, it might not be for you, or you might want to bring a map with you. You want to make sure that your GPS is working on your phone. But I love walking around back there. I think it's great. It's really calm, it's away from everything. There's usually not too many people back there at any given moment, so it really is a little escape back there. So now I'm back by the parking lot area that I initially started at, and I am kind of like backpedaling, and I'm going to go out this gate on the other side of the parking lot because this leads to the bamboo forest. So let me show you how I'm going to get there. So this is the road out of the parking lot. So if I turn around, you'll see here's the parking lot. So when I first came in, that was the direction I went, the way that we're facing now. So now I'm turning around and I'm going through this gate, which kinda is a little deceiving. Like, you don't know that there's something here unless you know, or you check the map. Like, why would you think you have to walk past the combustible diesel to find the bamboo forest? But you do, and it's this way. We have to make a right turn and go around this structure and down through here. I know this seems like random and slightly creepy, but trust me, this is the way to get to the bamboo forest. The first time I came here, I missed it because I didn't understand this was what you had to do to get there. This is the entrance to the bamboo forest, and they have these signs here so that you know this is what you're looking for. It says, do not cut or harvest the bamboo. But here we are. Let's go in. As soon as you step inside here, the volume changes, like the sounds change. It got so quiet in here. It's almost unnerving because as soon as you walk in, the sound is dampened. And it's like being transported to another world. You know, going from being in a city, in an urban area, and we're like right by the highway. And I could barely hear the highway. I could barely hear anything but just some insects going chirp, chirp, chirp. It's pretty incredible. And it's really nice to be able to get away from the concrete for a little bit and escape to such a gorgeous, gorgeous place like this. And these bamboo kind of tilt together and make this canopy over top, so it's almost like going through a little tunnel, and the light just peeks in every now and again. So that's what I've been up to today. Been exploring the garden. It's just a wonderful place to come. It's good to just sort of get away from the city and the urban and just get out into nature for a little bit and really detach and refresh and recharge. It's a great place to come. Just totally different change of pace, and something so magical as this is so close and so accessible. So with that, I'm going to head out. Hope that you enjoyed this. And if you want to see more, remember, hit subscribe, and that way you'll see every time I post something. It's a daily vlog, so I post something new every day. So until tomorrow, stay inspired by everybody. Take care.